Good afternoon. This is Kim DeCoste with ICOSA. Joining us this afternoon is Secretary Ken Salazar. Secretary, welcome back to Colorado.
Thank you, Kim. It's wonderful to be back here for the Biennial of the Americas.
Well, we're happy to have you, and it's nice to see you back home after being away in Washington. Now we look forward to whatever is next for you on your agenda. We know you have a lot of important topics you're addressing at the Biennial. Talk to us a little bit about your involvement and why this new focus on the North-South relationship is so very important.
My family settled northern New Mexico and southern Colorado almost 400 years ago, and so I have a special sense for the history and the culture and the commonality between the United States and Latin America. And I think for far too long, the United States has been too focused east-west, and I think it is very important to be focused north-south, Canada, all the way down to Argentina and Tierra del Fuego. And that's going to be even more important in the future. So I think having this event here in Colorado is very important because this is a geopolitical center of the United States of America and really of North America.
Sure. And one of the important topics we've talked a lot about in Colorado while you were here and even while you were in Washington, of course, is the conversation on energy. We're an interesting state. We have all kinds of resources at our disposal. As we look at all of the Americas, there are enormous resources available to us. What's your position on our energy situation right now?
I think the future of energy is very robust in the Western Hemisphere. I think we are on our way to seeing energy independence in the Western Hemisphere, and that's because of the huge progress that has been made in a broad portfolio of energy, including renewable energy as well as oil and gas, including offshore oil and gas. And so we're going to see a huge movement in getting us to energy independence here in the United States of America, but also in North America, and I think throughout the Americas.
And to be clear, you do see that as the president has referred to it as an all-of-the-above approach where there's room for everybody at the table, theoretically at least.
There certainly is. If you look at Brazil, for example, Brazil today is an energy independent nation, but they have huge investments in biofuels.
Sure.
Think about what we have done here in the United States, where on public lands we have permitted 11,000 megawatts of solar and geothermal and wind power alone just in the last 4 years. And so you put all of that together and the all-of-the-above energy strategy, we can make a reality, and I think we're going to make it a reality here in the Americas.
We didn't talk about this in advance, but I want to ask a quick question about infrastructure as it relates to energy, because I think we're going to see some interesting opportunities for investment and for all kinds of people to be involved in new entrepreneurial endeavors. Would you agree that energy is bringing also tremendous opportunity all across the Americas?
We are at a point where we are speaking about the new energy economy,
Yes.
And the new energy economy is being fueled in large part by what's happening with solar and wind and renewable energies. But at the same time, our conventional and unconventional energy plays are
Yes.
creating huge numbers of jobs in Canada, in Brazil, and Mexico, and here in the United States. And so when you put all that together, the energy component of our economy is truly a cornerstone, and it's very bright
Yep.
for the Western Hemisphere.
I'd agree. Thank you. And then my last question to you, one that's near and dear to me personally, just because I think it sometimes gets overlooked in the context of all the things we're concerned about, and that is the water question. It's an energy question. It's a human question. What do you think we need to focus on as we talk about this challenge?
Kim, I've said this all my life as U.S. Senator, Attorney General, as a farmer and as a rancher and as a citizen of Colorado. Water is the lifeblood of our communities. It's the lifeblood of our wildlife and fisheries, our recreational opportunities. But all of our communities are so dependent on it. And we have some very significant challenges that we will face. They can be addressed, but it's going to take a new generation of water managers that can understand how the water supply is changing and how climate change is having such a huge impact, for example, here in the United States on the Colorado River and on the Rio Grande Basin. But the same sorts of impacts are being felt throughout the Western Hemisphere. So really, as we look to the 21st century and water throughout the Western Hemisphere, we need to understand that we're going to have sufficient water to do what we need to do, but it's going to require new water management and also a great sense of protecting the quality of the water.
Sure.
And that relates to energy and it relates to a whole host
Sure.
of other things.
Well, okay, and do you believe then that we have it and that we have the resources to solve some of these challenges? It sounds like you do.
Absolutely. I think it's a matter of the human genius
Sure.
making some decisions about how we're going to manage these very important resources.
Excellent. Secretary Salazar, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Kim.
This is Kim DeCoste for ICOSA. Thank you.